In this tight economy, everyone is feeling the squeeze on our budgets, and thrifting is a great way to save money and shop sustainably. And now there's a new way to bargain hunt online. GoodwillFinds.com launches today. It is a new secondhand marketplace for finding treasures. And the money raised from the site will support local community programs, so you can shop and do some good. Joining me now is sustainable stylist Sarah Tarasinski, who is working with GoodwillFinds.com to promote the new site. Sarah T has some great ideas on what to look for. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. I love this idea because I love thrifting and the fact that you can just do it. You don't have to go to a store necessarily. You can do it online. You know, upcycling is all the rage, but not everyone may be familiar with the term. Can you explain what it means?
Yeah, basically upcycling is taking something that is either trash off to the side, you think you don't want it, it's dated, and giving it new life, giving it a new look, a new facelift, or giving it a new use, like taking a diaper changing table and making it into a bar cart. So it's just a really fun way to take those old items, keep them out of a landfill, and create new beautiful things.
And what's the value in buying secondhand things?
Oh, well, I always say secondhand is best. I'm pretty old now, but I've been doing it a long time. And I find that actually things that were older actually, if it's lasted that long and it's actually in a thrift store, to me, the benefit is, like, even if it's a sweater, well, if it's been around 20 years, it definitely is not pilling. It's just made a little better, I think. And then also, you want to shop. I like to shop and thrift because I like to give back to different programs. And I think that's really important too.
What's your best strategy for thrifting online when you can't see or touch these items?
Oh, goodness. Well, I think the thing that we need to remember when we're thrifting online is that it doesn't have to look perfect. I'm all about taking something, even if it's got a little stain on it, and remaking it into something else. So we want to look for the all-over concept of the item, not just necessarily, oh, I love this item, I want it in my house just as is. Could be a little creative with it.
Now, you are so good for your stylist transformations. Let's take a look at what you did with some finds from the Goodwill Finds site. First up, these look like vintage t-shirts. What are we seeing here?
Right. These are actually old school t-shirts. They're not vintage band t-shirts. I think they're just band t-shirts. I have a hard time cutting up a vintage one, but it definitely is. I mean, there's tons of band t-shirts that just come from general stores. And I love the way they look, and I wanted to make art out of them. So at GoodwillFinds.com, I found these awesome frames in these t-shirts, and I decided to combine them by just using a little bit of a technique to harden the t-shirt. And then I have these 3 gorgeous pieces to create a really fun gallery wall.
Wow. Now, you also framed some art. What attracted you to these items?
Well, I definitely love taking things that are considered art and putting them in a frame. I mean, we do it with all sorts of things, whether it be a piece of fabric, a napkin, whatever, a placemat, just something that you like the pattern on. So I definitely was big into the feel of the band tees with the beautiful frames. Right. And the frames, sometimes with frames, you can just give them a little bit of a lift, you know, and that's what I show people how to do. I show them how to give new life to those old items. Now,
let's show what you did. How did you combine the frames and the shirts?
Well, I took the shirts and I used this awesome material called Wonder Under, and I applied it to the back of the t-shirts. And then you just cut them out the size of the frame, take the old art out, and put the new piece in. And when you use the Wonder Under on the back of the t-shirt, it kind of hardens that t-shirt a little bit. So it makes it more like a canvas. It's actually so simple.
These look great. All right. Now, this also looks fairly basic. What caught your eye about these baskets we're about to show?
Well, first of all, they're huge, which is a big thing. I have always been, for as long as I've been thrifting, I'm always a basket girl. I just think you should find your baskets thrifting and you should paint them, and they have a great selection. These 3 really stood out to me because they were big, and even though they were a little old and kind of stained, I knew that I could clean them up and then make them into fabulous art, because basket, again, with the gallery wall, baskets are a great thing to add some dimension and some art, like that beautiful feel to your wall.
And let's show the transformation. What did you do here? Wow, that looks great.
I know, aren't those fun? A little bit of paint, that's all it takes. I just clean them up with a little soap and water, let them dry, and I use painter's tape. And I actually went online and I looked at rug designs for inspiration. And that's what I used to create the fun little patterns. Just a little bit of spray paint, that's all you need.
Oh, that looks terrific. All right, let's talk about the money raised from the site. What does it help?
Oh gosh, The Goodwill Finds is amazing because not only can, I mean, I'm a big fan of thrifting and I love going into the thrift store, but the fact that you can actually do it online now and that still will go, it's a national program. You can shop anywhere in the country. And then the money that is raised will go to help the programs that Goodwill supports actually in your community. So that's like amazing.
So it stays local. That's terrific. Sarah T., thank you so much for joining us this morning. Happy thrifting.
Yes. Happy
All right, if you'd like more information about GoodwillFinds.com, go to our website, cbsnewyork.com.